Well, a Trump administration official now denying an earlier report from the Wall Street Journal that said the Commerce Department is in talks with some quantum computing companies for equity stakes in exchange for funding. Quantum stocks took a dip, but still higher today. Despite that denial, Christina Partsinevelos has more in today's Tech Check. Hi, Christina.
It's been a roller coaster with this story, but like you said, the Trump administration is really pouring cold water on a report about quantum computing deals. An administration official tells CNBC's Eamon Javers that they're not currently negotiating equity stakes in quantum firms. But stocks, like you said, IonQ, D-Wave, are still much higher. IonQ up 4%, D-Wave up almost 10%. The key words, though, are currently and equity, which suggests that there could be a deal in the future, perhaps one that would use warrants, giving the government the right to buy shares later rather than taking ownership now. But Rigetti told CNBC this morning, quote, "We are continuously engaging with the U.S. government on funding opportunities. If the U.S. does not lead in supporting these breakthroughs, others will, posing significant risks to our national security." So if a deal happens, it would follow Intel. The government converted grants into a 10% stake just earlier this year. But Intel has billions of dollars in revenue. These quantum firms have barely any and are burning cash on tech that doesn't work commercially just yet. Washington would be essentially backing smaller startups, while Google, IBM, Microsoft, Amazon spend billions on quantum. Google just said recently in the 24 hours that its Willow chip ran an algorithm 13,000 times faster than a supercomputer. This is really just a global race for quantum dominance. Australia put nearly $1 billion in Psi Quantum. The U.S. sees quantum as critical to staying ahead, especially ahead of China.
Christina, so you started off talking about sort of the volatility of these names today, along with the announcements that we've heard. But to your point, they're still higher. Why?
It speaks to the speculation of these names and how they can be almost categorized in the meme box.
I was going to say, right, anything with quantum, it seems like.
Yeah.
Is there a big retail trade in these names?
Oh, of course there is, but I don't want to discount the scientific breakthroughs from a lot of these companies, and they are producing something, versus maybe some of the other meme names where you're wondering they're just completely negative in terms of revenue. What is their product even? But in this case, there's a lot of names. They move quite in tandem with any speck of headline, and we saw that early today in the White House pouring cold water. The other thing, too, is that the White House said currently an equity stake, which could imply that maybe there's
like
some others, or a complete other deal. There's a lot of companies that are in talks with the U.S. government right now because the U.S. government has shifted their stance in how they deal business, MP Materials, Intel, others, just in regards to investing in these firms. So it's changed the game here, and firms want in with the government.
Yeah, obviously, it's really important to listen to these words and sort of parse through them and have you on to explain them, because I definitely hear with what you're saying. It's potentially speculation, and maybe it's not stock or it's not equity, but it's the opportunity to do so later on. Thank you so much, Christina.